space to think this through. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a heart to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make.
Hey Warriors, welcome to the 2019-2020 school year.
I'm Vidalina Tolentino.
I'm Anthony Karpinski.
This is
Warrior News.
Roll the intro.
Myas has some news for us, so let's head over to him for some current news.
To start us off, we are focusing on events overseas. There has been an incident involving a missile launch in Russia that left 7 dead. This event happened last week, and we also know that the radiation spiked 16 times higher than normal. The village of Nyo-Noksa was temporarily evacuated while a military operation was being conducted. Most U.S. experts believe that the Russians were testing a nuclear-powered missile, but Russian officials claimed that a rocket propulsion engine containing nuclear material was the object that exploded. The deceased have been hailed as heroes and are also receiving posthumous medals. Also in recent news, there has been a fatal bike accident in New York City on Sunday, the 11th. This accident has been the 19th bike accident this year. The victim was 52-year-old Jose Alvarez. Alvarez was pulling into the bike lane when suddenly the two vehicles crashed. After the vehicles crashed, the SUV spun out of control, pinning Alvarez against the building's wall. Pedestrians tried to pull Alvarez from under the car, but Alvarez suffered from severe head trauma and there was no chance of him surviving. In news relating to the El Paso shooting, the Dallas Cowboys have donated $50,000 to a fund for the victims of the recent shooting. On Wednesday, the team said that they were planning a donation to the El Paso Community Foundation Victims Fund. The Cowboys have had community outreach programs for many years in El Paso. I'm Miles Wilson reporting for Warrior News. Now back to the anchors.
Well, I didn't know the Dallas Cowboys had such a big heart.
I just feel bad for the cyclists. Last year, Warrior Newscast went to the UNM campus in Albuquerque to make some trailers. Wasn't one bromance?
Well, it wasn't exactly a bromance, but it was a womance. Have you ever had a bromance? Well, now wouldn't you want a bromance?
No comment.
Well, you replace your sadness with collecting.
Isn't that hoarding?
I'm not sure, but Natalie explains that in her video. What's this? A thing? I collect things.
People collect everything. Pokemon cards, coins, rocks. You might be wondering, why do people collect? I'm here to tell you why collecting is good for you.
First,
collecting is actually good for your brain. According to www.rewireme.com, collecting things sparks a desire to learn. This is because you want to know as much as possible about the thing you collect and whether or not it's valuable or worth investing in. Collecting could boost your self-esteem when talking about that object. Uncustomary.org says you might even be more creative when collecting because you are awakening that part of your brain that relates to creativity and imagination. She also says that you feel more emotions for the things you collect and may even make backstories for the things you collect. Second, collecting is fun. Collectorism.com says some collect for pure enjoyment. It's fun. You might even go to some conventions and talk to people who have the same interest as you and participate in activities. Doesn't that sound fun? Or maybe you don't like traveling. Well, if that's the case, then you could download an app related to that topic. There are apps when you could talk about your collections and post pictures. Hey, you might even break a world record. Last, collecting is different from hoarding. There is a risk to everything. Collecting's risk is hoarding. www.psychologytoday.com says that hoarders don't like people knowing or talking about their hoarding. Collectors are the complete opposite and enjoy telling people about their collections because they're proud of it. They go on to say that hoarders often show perfectionism, the refusal to accept anything short of perfection. Collectors let some imperfections slide. They also say that hoarding is just the extreme version of collecting and that there is a fine line between them. They call it the dark side of collecting. I had the chance to interview one of my neighbors, but unfortunately the audio was unusable. As you can see, there are many different reasons why people should collect. From collecting being good for your brain to collecting being fun and everything in between. But at the end of the day, there's still a line between collecting and hoarding that you shouldn't cross. Make sure to collect responsibly. I'm Natalie Mangum reporting for Warrior News. Back to the anchors.
There's your answer. Collecting isn't hoarding after all.
Hey, Ludovina, didn't you have a chance to meet the assistant principal, Mr. Triplehorn?
No, I haven't, but I think he's here with Shantine. Let's go to Shantine's interview.
Hello Warriors, I'm Shantine Benson here with Mr. Triplehorn. Mr. Triplehorn is the new vice principal here at JFK, and today we're going to find out more about him. Mr. Triplehorn has a bachelor's degree in math and science from UNM, as well as a master's degree in educational leadership from Western New Mexico University. Mr. Triplehorn has been working in the district for 18 years. He decided he wanted to go into administration so he could help you, the student, succeed to your highest extent. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Triplehorn here a couple questions. By the end of the year, what would you like to have accomplished with the students or school?
So I think by the end of the year, I'd like to see the school be a little bit more positive, a little more active in the community. And of course, I'd like to see the students succeed to their fullest potential and be great students in high school.
That's amazing. How far do you think the students have, or how do you think the students have been so far?
So far, it's been a very good school year. The sixth graders are still learning what to do around the school, so they're still kind of walking around kind of scared. The seventh and eighth graders have sure grown up over the summer, so it's been a really good school year so far.
Okay. What's something you would like the students to know about you outside of school?
Well, outside of school, so I have a son that actually went to school here at JFK when he was a sixth, seventh, and eighth grader. He's now a sophomore at New Mexico State University in engineering. And I like to mountain bike, I like to do ceramics, and I read a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Triplehorn, for your time. And if you guys see him in the halls, make sure to say hello. Now back to the anchors.
Well, I never knew that about Mr. Triplehorn.
That's it for today's show. Tune in to next week's show.
Bye.
Bye.